Nothing lasts forever. Why is everything impermanent? The Buddhist wisdom of constant change. The fear of change and the truth of impermanence. Imagine standing by a river, watching the water flow past you. Every moment, every drop is unique and will never pass by in the same way again. The same is true for our lives. Nothing ever stays the same. And yet, we often fear change. Why are we afraid of things, people, and experiences passing away? Why do we cling to what we love, even though we know it will eventually come to an end? These questions are at the heart of the Buddhist teaching of Anicca, the principle of impermanence. The Buddha taught that everything in the universe is subject to constant change. Our bodies age, thoughts come and go, even mountains are worn down over thousands of years. Anicca means accepting this truth and understanding that suffering often arises from our resistance to change. But what if impermanence is not something to fear, but rather a source of liberation? What if we viewed it not as a loss, but as an opportunity to experience each moment more fully? In this audiobook, we explore what Anicca truly means, why we hold on to things so tightly, and how learning to let go can bring us greater inner freedom. Why do we fear change? The core Buddhist teaching of Anicca, the impermanence of all things, how understanding impermanence can help us live more freely. Chapter 1. Everything is impermanent. The truth of Anicca. Impermanence is one of the fundamental truths of life, yet we often struggle to accept it. We wish for beautiful moments to last forever, for our relationships to remain stable, and for ourselves to never grow old. But deep down, we know everything changes. In Buddhism, this principle is called Anicca, the impermanence of all things. The Buddha taught that nothing in this world exists permanently. Everything is in a state of constant transformation. Impermanence is everywhere and affects all aspects of life. Our body changes every day. We age, cells die, and new ones form. No one remains young or unchanged forever. Our thoughts and emotions come and go. Joy doesn't last forever, but neither does pain. It eventually fades. Nature itself constantly reflects Anicca. Seasons change, a tree grows, sheds its leaves, and eventually dies. Even mountains are worn down over thousands of years. Society and cultures evolve. Old traditions disappear, new ones emerge. No system, no idea remains unchanged forever. The flow of life. Nothing ever stays the same. Imagine life as a river. Every drop of water you see exists only for a brief moment before it moves on. You cannot hold on to it, and yet that is precisely what makes it beautiful. The same is true for our lives. Yet instead of accepting the natural flow of things, we often resist it. We try to cling to the past or control the future. But the more we hold on, the more we suffer. What if we saw impermanence not as a threat, but as a source of liberation? How would our lives change if we accepted that nothing lasts forever and that it doesn't have to? Chapter 2. Why do we hold on to things? Even though we know that everything is impermanent, we struggle to accept change. We long for stability, security, and control. But life is like the wind. It cannot be held in place. So why is letting go so difficult? Our minds are wired to seek stability. We feel comfortable when things are predictable. But life is unpredictable. A friendship that feels strong today may change tomorrow. A job that gives us security can suddenly be lost. Even our own bodies will inevitably change over time. This uncertainty scares us. If nothing stays the same, then who are we? Often we cling to things to maintain a sense of identity, control, or security. But this control is merely an illusion. How clinging to things, people, and experiences creates suffering. The Buddha taught that attachment to impermanent things is the root of our suffering. We cling to many aspects of life, often without realizing how much this attachment causes us pain. For example, we attach ourselves to material possessions. A new car, an expensive house, or fashionable clothing may bring us temporary joy, but eventually we lose interest or the item itself loses its value. Then we start searching for the next possession that we believe will make us happy. The same applies to people and relationships. We wish for our loved ones to stay by our side forever, but relationships change. Sometimes we grow apart and sometimes we lose people through separation or death. Holding on to an idealized version of a relationship causes pain when reality no longer matches our expectations. We also cling to experiences and memories. We often think things were better back then. But the past cannot be reclaimed. When we live in memories or wish for beautiful moments to never end, we miss out on the present. Imagine holding a butterfly in your hand. If you let it rest gently on your palm, it may stay with you for a moment. But if you try to grasp it tightly, it will struggle and eventually perish. The same is true for relationships. True love does not mean possessing someone or binding them to you. It means allowing them to be who they are and letting them go when the time comes. Life is a constant cycle of arrivals and departures. Nothing lasts forever, and that is precisely what makes it so valuable. When we learn to accept impermanence, we can experience the present moment more deeply. But how do we truly let go? After all, it's easier said than done. Chapter 3. Practical ways to consciously accept impermanence. Becoming aware of impermanence can initially feel unsettling. We fear losing people, things, or experiences that are dear to us. But when we recognize constant change as a natural reality, we can find inner peace. So how can we learn to see impermanence not as a threat, but as a source of freedom? Mindfulness in the moment. Truly experiencing the present. Our thoughts are often trapped in the past or the future. We dwell on memories or worry about what's to come, yet the only moment that truly exists is the here and now. A powerful Buddhist practice is meditation on impermanence. This helps us not only to intellectually understand change, but also to deeply feel it. How you can try it. Find a quiet place and close your eyes. Take deep breaths in and out, focusing on your breath. Feel it coming and going. Visualize a flower. It grows, blooms, withers, and fades, but its cycle continues. Observe your own thoughts, emotions, and sensations. They arise and disappear, like waves in the ocean. Take a moment to recognize that nothing lasts forever, and that this is where true beauty lies. Over time, this practice helps us face change with greater ease and appreciate the present moment more fully. When we learn to be truly present, we can experience things as they are, without fearing their impermanence. Gratitude instead of clinging, recognizing the value of each moment. When we accept that nothing lasts forever, we learn to appreciate what we have in the present. Instead of wishing that beautiful moments would never end, we can fully immerse ourselves in them. Imagine sitting with a loved one, watching the sunset. Instead of thinking, "I wish this moment could last forever," you can say, "I am grateful to experience this moment right now." Gratitude shifts our perspective. Gratitude transforms the fear of loss into joy for what has been experienced, practicing letting go, the art of releasing attachments. Letting go does not mean becoming indifferent. It means not clinging unnecessarily to things we cannot control. Think of your thoughts and emotions as clouds in the sky. We rarely have direct control over them. They come and go, but you don't have to hold on to them. You can simply let them pass. Similarly, we can observe thoughts about the past or fears about the future. They exist, but they do not define us. Seeing change as an opportunity, the natural flow of life. Everything that fades makes space for something new. Without impermanence, there would be no growth, no development, and no new experiences. Take the seasons, for example. Summer gives way to autumn. The warmth fades, the rains come and leaves wither. By winter, the trees stand bare and the landscape may seem bleak and lifeless, some places resting under a blanket of snow. Yet when winter passes, spring arrives, and life begins to flourish once again. New growth emerges because winter made space for it. By learning to accept change, we can welcome it as a natural part of life rather than resisting it, the beauty of change. Impermanence is often seen as something threatening, the end of something we love or cherish, but in truth it is what gives life its value. Precisely because nothing lasts forever, we can experience the present moment in its fullest intensity. Why impermanence is not a reason for fear, but an invitation to live more consciously. Everything that fades makes space for something new. Every farewell is also a new beginning. Impermanence reminds us to truly live. When we recognize that each moment is unique, we become more mindful of how we spend our time. Change is not our enemy, but our teacher. Every transformation brings the potential for growth. You cannot step into the same river twice, for other waters are ever flowing on. Heraclitus. This quote reminds us that life is in constant motion. Every moment is unique, and when we learn to flow with it instead of resisting, we can find true inner peace. What change in your life once felt difficult, but later revealed new opportunities? Which moments would you experience more consciously if you fully embraced their impermanence? Share your thoughts in the comments and help inspire others on their journey. What to expect in the next audiobook. In the next part of this series, we will explore another fundamental topic in Buddhism, pain, and why it is an inevitable part of life. Why do we experience pain, and is there a way to transform it? We will examine why pain is an unavoidable yet essential part of life, and how it can encourage inner growth and self-development. Discover how Buddhist teachings help us not to fear pain, but to see it as an opportunity for self-reflection and transformation. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more inspiring content. Until next time, stay mindful and open to life's lessons.